Well, thank you for having me and thank you for the introduction. So I just want to start out by thanking you all for joining me tonight. I'm hoping in the near future that we'll be able to do events like this in person, but I'm just thankful that we get to do it at all, right? So as Danielle said, my name is Nicole Fuller. I've been a dietitian seems like forever. I've worked in a variety of different healthcare settings, from acute care, dialysis, long-term care, and community health, where I enjoy being able to bring nutrition information to people such as yourselves. So tonight's topic is vegetables. We're going to talk about vegetables, why people like me tell you all the time that you should be eating your vegetables. Okay, so let's get started. I wanted to first start out this presentation with this quote from Michael Pollan, and it's from his book, In Defense of Food, where he says, "Eat food, not too much, mostly plants." I will say that in his quote, he isn't just referring to vegetables, but I do like the message here, because I believe that what he's trying to say is that we should make healthy food more of a priority in our lives. We need to be making sure that we're getting the most nutritious foods in our diet so that we're getting the most and the proper amounts of nutrients. One way we can do this is to make sure we're getting enough vegetables in our diets, which is why we're here today and what we're going to talk about. Before we really dive into vegetables and why they're so important, I just wanted to show you some statistics that I was a little surprised at. So according to a CDC analysis of data of the 2015 Behavioral Risk Factor Surveillance System, only 9% of adults are getting the recommended amounts of vegetables. Only 9%. And isn't it shocking to hear that only 1 out of 10 adults are getting enough vegetables and fruits in their diet? To me, I was rather shocked at that, and at these statistics, and I'm hoping that by the end of this presentation, some of you will start increasing your vegetable intake. So that's the goal. So, and I apologize. I don't know if I have, my allergies are kicking in, so I might have to cough or clear my throat a couple of times during this presentation. Okay, so why is it important to eat vegetables? Oh, well, for one thing, a diet that is high in vegetables and fruits, I'll say fruits as well, as part of an overall healthy diet may reduce our risk for heart disease, including heart attacks and strokes. Okay, so that's one benefit. Also, eating a diet rich in some vegetables and fruits as a part of an overall healthy diet may protect us against some types of cancers. Diets that include foods high in fiber, like some vegetables, may decrease the risk of some chronic diseases, such as heart disease, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. Eating potassium-containing vegetables as a part of a healthy diet may lower our blood pressure. Also, consuming foods like vegetables that are lower in calories per cup instead of some other higher calorie food may help to lower our overall calorie intake. And we will go into depth into more of these throughout the presentation. And in general, vegetables provide vital nutrients for health and maintenance of our bodies, okay? So what are some of the health benefits of vegetables? Most vegetables are naturally made low in fat and calories. Aside from an avocado, which is higher in fat, most of them are, again, low fat or fat-free, okay? No vegetables have cholesterol, but you should bear in mind that if you're adding sauces or different types of seasonings, this may add additional fats, calories, and or cholesterol to your vegetables. So when we're saying no cholesterol in vegetables, we're talking plain old vegetables just as they are. It's when you start adding things to them that could add the additional fat, calories, cholesterol. Okay. Vegetables are also important in sources of many, many nutrients, some of which are listed here and that we'll talk about more, but potassium being one, folate, vitamin A, vitamin C, fiber, and phytonutrients. Okay, so potassium, that's the one we're going to talk about first. And as far as potassium goes, this nutrient it kind of flies under the radar. Um, you hear people talk about it, and people, I think they're getting enough, but people they think we're getting enough, but the truth is most people do not. We're not meeting the requirements that we need. The reason for this is that likely people are consuming more processed foods that are higher in sodium, okay, than higher in sodium than fresh vegetables and fruit, of which those are higher in potassium. So people are replacing the higher potassium foods, like good sources or some vegetables, and eating the processed foods, which are sodium containing. Okay, we definitely are overdoing it on the sodium and not getting enough potassium. Potassium is an important mineral because it plays a role in the way your heart functions. Diets that are higher in potassium-rich foods and that are lower in sodium may help reduce the risk of high blood pressure and stroke. This is one reason why potassium is essential. Some other benefits of getting enough potassium in your diet is that this mineral also helps improve nerve function and helps with muscle contraction. And while there are many sources of potassium out there, some good vegetable sources include things like potatoes, both white and sweet potatoes, um, tomatoes, leafy greens, vegetables like spinach, kale, chard greens, legumes, and avocados. Okay, so those are some good sources, vegetable sources of potassium. I'm sure you know many that are fruits like bananas and oranges, but these are the good vegetable sources. The next we're going to talk about folate, which is vitamin B9, also known as vitamin B9. Excuse me. Why do we, oh, I apologize for that. Why do we want to eat foods, especially vegetables that contain folate? For one thing, folate is needed to produce healthy red blood cells, and it is needed for healthy cell function and cell growth. So that's one of the benefits of getting enough folate in your diet. Another very important benefit, which a lot of you might have already heard of, especially women, one benefit of folate is that it has been shown to reduce the risk of neural tube defects, spina bifida, and anencephaly during fetal development. So as a baby is developing, therefore making sure that women of childbearing age who may become pregnant should either make sure they are getting adequate amounts of folate in their diet or supplement with some kind of folic acid, especially prior to getting pregnant. Okay, there are good sources of folate in many vegetables, some which are listed here, including asparagus, avocado, Brussels sprouts, dark green leafy vegetables like spinach and mustard greens, as well as peas. And I will say that when we talk about vegetables, I encourage everyone to try and get at least one serving of leafy green vegetables a day because of they're packed with so much nutrition that I always recommend at least one serving of the leafy green vegetables a day. And as we get towards the end of the presentation, we'll talk about vegetable intake and how much we should be eating. But again, try and get those leafy greens in when you can. And we'll also discuss ways which we can add more vegetables to our diet. Now, however, we're going to switch over and talk to vitamins A and C. As for vitamin A, why it's important to get in our diets? Well, it has been shown that one of the main reasons is that it's been shown to support eye health. In fact, according to the National Institutes for Health, vitamin A is critical for vision. Also, vitamin A has antioxidant properties, which we all want. And the reason for that is that antioxidants are substances that may protect your cells against the effects of free radicals. Now, what are free radicals? Well, they're molecules that may play a role in heart disease, cancer, and other diseases. Okay, so we definitely don't want those in our bodies. So antioxidants like vitamin A can help protect us against those free radicals. Okay, some good vegetable sources of vitamin A. There we go again with the leafy green vegetables. I'm hoping by the end that'll be drilled into your head. Leafy green vegetables like spinach, kale, broccoli, Swiss chard, mustard greens, carrots, sweet potato, pumpkin, tomatoes, red bell peppers. All of these are good vegetable sources of vitamin A. And what about vitamin C? What are some of the benefits of vitamin C? Why should we be making sure we get enough in our diet? Well, vitamin C is classified as an antioxidant, which again is a great thing. As we just discussed, it helps get rid of those free radicals, which can potentially cause cancer and heart disease and other diseases. Keep in mind that a diet high in antioxidant may help reduce the risk of heart disease. So again, and also certain cancers. It should be said that your body doesn't produce vitamin C. So meaning the only way to get enough is by making sure you're getting enough in your diet. And lucky for Americans, most Americans are getting adequate vitamin C in our diets. It's rare to actually have a vitamin C deficiency in the United States. Good vegetable sources, red and green peppers, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, spinach. Again, some of those leafy greens there, broccoli, spinach. That's probably why I keep saying everybody should have at least one serving a day. So that's vitamin A and vitamin C. Next, we're going to talk about fiber. There are so many benefits to a diet high in fiber. It's one of the main reasons I tell people to eat more vegetables, to be honest. Many people think that it's the one and only benefit for fiber is that it relieves constipation, helps you go to the bathroom. While it can help with that, that's not where the benefits of fiber ends. A healthy diet that includes adequate amounts of fiber may actually help to lower overall cholesterol by lowering LDL cholesterol. Now, LDL cholesterol, you might hear people refer to it as bad cholesterol. So fiber can help reduce overall cholesterol by reducing your LDL. A high intake of fiber has also been shown to reduce the risk of some diseases like heart disease, which makes sense because if you're eating a diet high in fiber and it helps lower cholesterol, as high cholesterol is associated with heart disease, you can see why eating a diet high in fiber would help lower the risk of it. For people who are diabetic, fiber can help slow the absorption of sugar and help improve blood sugar levels. And it may help reduce the risk of people actually developing type 2 diabetes. We already mentioned how eating fiber can help with constipation. So just remember a diet with more fiber can help in decreasing your chances of becoming constipated. It is also worth noting that when you eat foods higher in fiber, you tend to feel fuller longer. And why would this be a good thing? Why would we want to feel fuller longer? Well, you're likely to eat less because you feel full, and you're going to feel satisfied longer. Another thing worth mentioning is that high fiber foods tend to be lower in calories, which is why it may also help with maintaining weight. Okay, so you feel fuller longer, there's not as much calories in the fiber containing foods, so you're not going to eat as much. So that's why it may help with maintaining weight, and it may also help with weight loss. Some good vegetable sources of vegetables: green beans, broccolis, potatoes, especially with the skin on them, Brussels sprouts, turnip greens, avocado. Again, we got some leafy green vegetables thrown in there. Okay. As far as recommended amount of fiber one should be consuming, according to the Mayo Clinic for adults, it's recommended men, as you can see here, men 50 or younger, and this is just for adults, should get about 38 grams of fiber a day. If you're 51 and older, you want to get about 30 grams. Women 50 or younger, again, this is adults, about 25 grams, and 51 and older, 21 grams. Most people are not getting enough fiber in their diet. That I could say. For some reason, I think it's somewhere between 9 and 14 grams, the average intake of fiber a day. But I definitely know most people are not reaching their goals. So that's why we need to eat our veggies to make sure we're getting enough fiber in our diet to reap the benefits that fiber plate has. Okay, so now we're going to move on to something called phytonutrients. Phytonutrients is basically just a broad name for a variety of compounds that plants produce. They're not only found in vegetables, they're also found in fruits, beans, and grains, but this subject is vegetables, so we're just going to focus on vegetables. Each phytonutrient comes from a variety of different plant sources, and they have different possible benefits for the body. Researchers actually think that there might be over 4,000 different types of phytonutrients, but many of them out there, out of the many of them out there, there's few that have been actually studied. So we still have a long way to go to really figuring out the exact benefits of all the phytonutrients. Research is showing that some benefits of phytonutrients can include antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefits, as well as possibly strengthening our immune system, which I know people are really looking for, especially during this past pandemic. Benefit of repairing damaged DNA, detoxifying carcinogens, and carcinogens are cancer-causing substances. So the thing is that according to Harvard Health, we are still learning about phytonutrients, and the science about them is ongoing. Okay, just like I said, they haven't done research on the over 4,000 types. Okay. But they may even help fight things such as cancer and heart disease. Okay. I have gone ahead and listed some common names of phytonutrients, as you can see listed here, some of which you may have heard of, a lot of them you might not have: antioxidants, flavonoids, phytochemicals, catechins, carotenoids, and polyphenols. Those are some names of some of phytonutrients. So this might not seem like it connects to phytonutrients, but have you ever heard the term eat the rainbow? I know for myself, I have said that term many times, and the reason many health experts say eat the rainbow, is because of phytonutrients. Phytonutrients are part of what gives plants these beautiful colors. And as mentioned before, they might be a part of what can help protect us from chronic diseases. It's important to try and get a variety of different vegetables in different colors, because each color provides different health benefits, and no one color vegetable is better than the other. Okay. Although I will admit it's kind of hard to find blue vegetables. So for the sake of this, we're just going with that blue doesn't exist on the rainbow. We kind of classified them just all under purple. And if anyone knows of a blue vegetable, feel free to let me know. So what are exactly some of the health benefits related to the colors of the vegetables? Well, when you eat a red vegetable, think lycopene. This is one phytonutrient. It's also a powerful antioxidant. And the proposed benefits are protecting against certain types of cancer, as well as benefits for heart health. I listed just some in case you didn't look at all the vegetables in this lovely rainbow. I listed some red vegetables here, like tomatoes, red peppers, radishes. Now, when you're eating orange and yellow vegetables, you can think of cryptoxanthin. That's a little bit of a mouthful, but you could think of that when you're eating your orange and yellow vegetables. This beta-cryptoxanthin is a strong antioxidant that, again, may have anti-cancer benefits and may help in preventing heart disease. So you can see a theme here. Some yellow and orange vegetables that come to mind: carrots, orange and yellow peppers, sweet potatoes, even pumpkin, acorn, squash, yellow squash, corn. These are some of the orange and yellow vegetables. As for green vegetables, you can think of lutein. Lutein has been shown to benefit eye health, certain types of cancers, as well as benefiting heart health. Again, the theme: cancer, heart health. There are tons of green vegetables. I only wrote a few here, like spinach, broccoli, kale. Again, those leafy green vegetables: cucumbers, arugula, peas, green peas, sugar snap peas, zucchini. The list goes on and on and on. And you could also think of herbs here too. Those can even be put in the green list. Okay, so last but not least, again, because we're skipping over blue, there's no blue that I could find. When it comes to purple vegetables, you can think of anthocyanins, okay? The health benefits, which are against heart disease again, and certain types of cancer. There aren't a ton of purple vegetables, but eggplant, purple cabbage are two of them, and endives. The purple endive, that would also be one. Okay, as for how much vegetables you should be eating per day, okay, well, that depends on a few things: age, gender, height, weight, etc. And if you want to get a more specific idea for you personally, I highly recommend visiting the website myplate.gov. I apologize for that. I would visit that because you can enter a few things into their computer, and they'll pop out a recommendation more based on, again, your gender, height, weight, age, things like that. This chart just gives you a rough overview about how many cups per day based on your age. And it should be said that 1 cup of raw or cooked vegetables is equal to about a cup. Okay, so when you look at this and it says women 60 plus years should be having 2 to 3 cups of vegetables a day. 1 cup would be of raw or cooked vegetables, according to myplate.gov, which is run by the USDA. But 2 cups of raw leafy salad greens would count as 1 cup, which might be a little confusing. It's because of the volume of it. So again, visit myplate.gov for an expanded version of this and what constitutes a cup of vegetables. It's a great resource. Highly recommend just visiting it, just because it talks more, not just about vegetables, in all of the food groups. And here is actually what your plate should look like according to the USDA and the myplate.gov. So if you were to look at your plate for a meal, at least a big chunk, a quarter portion, should be vegetables. Or if you don't do fruits at a meal, you could do half your plate should be vegetables. Okay, so when you're sitting down to have dinner and you're serving yourself, meal is on the table, you do your quarter protein, a quarter grains or starch, and half the plate vegetables. Okay, so this is just to give you a little bit of a visual. Okay, so I want to go over some ways that you can actually add more vegetables to your diet. So now that we know the benefits and what vegetables contain and why we should make sure we're getting enough, how do you actually get more vegetables in your diet? Okay, there are probably some ideas that we'll go over that you're already doing, but I'm guessing there are some ways to add more veggies to your diet than you even think, like breakfast ideas. I don't know how many people actually have vegetables at breakfast, probably not many, but some ideas are, if you make a smoothie for breakfast, you might argue this point, but if you grab a handful of spinach and you throw it in your smoothie, I'm guaranteeing the taste will not change much. You won't taste the spinach. It will change the color. Yes, it will change the color. It will be green, but I don't know, put a top on it if you can't stand the look of a green smoothie, but it's a great way to get some vegetables in. If you're making scrambled eggs or an omelet, again, add some spinach, some kale. It wilts down nicely and you're getting an additional serving of vegetables. Add leftover, if you're making scrambled eggs or an omelet and you have leftover vegetables in the fridge, add them to the eggs. Instead of fruit in the morning, have some vegetables, some cherry tomatoes that can be nice and sweet, especially in the summertime, or some mini peppers, which are actually on the sweeter side if you want to replace the fruit with vegetables. Or if you like avocados, you can make avocado toast. There's probably websites that are just about how you can make the best avocado toast, because people are doing crazy things with avocado toast these days. Some snack ideas. Again, you might already be doing this or have thought of this, but a great way just to get in an extra serving of vegetables. Instead of chips, crispy chips, if you need that crunch, grab crunchy vegetables and dip it in some low-fat salad dressing that you might have on hand. You have vegetables cut up and easily accessible and ready to go for a mid-morning or an afternoon snack. You're running around. It doesn't take long. It might seem like it will, but I'm telling you, food prepping, getting some of those vegetables cut up and ready and in your fridge will be great. You'll have them on hand. Another idea, carrots and hummus, or if you don't like carrots, cucumbers and hummus, or celery and hummus, broccoli and hummus, any vegetable to dip in the hummus. You could also, I put cucumber sticks, but I meant celery sticks, unless you like cucumber with some type of nut butter. But if you like celery, or you can even do cream cheese in it. If you have kids, you might be doing the ants on the log with the celery stick, some cream cheese, and some raisins, a couple raisins. These are just some ideas for breakfast and snack to get some extra vegetables in. As far as how to get more vegetables in your diet for like lunch or dinner, there are so many ways. If you're doing a sandwich wrap, do it with vegetables instead. You could do like a roasted vegetable wrap. Spruce up your sandwiches by adding lettuce or even kale, tomato, onion, avocado. Make a big salad. You can always add a protein to it to make you even feel a little fuller, even longer. But it doesn't have to just be lettuce, tomato, and carrots. You could do mixed greens like a baby spinach. You could do radishes, avocado, beets, red onion, squash, anything. If you're making a grilled cheese, why don't you try adding some tomato? You could even do avocado on it, or spinach before it's toasted. You put the sandwich together and then do the grilled cheese. Topping your pizza with veggies is always a great idea. What you can also do is cut up a bunch of vegetables, like even here in this picture on the screen. Here's like sweet potatoes, red onions, zucchini, mushrooms. Roast them, little olive oil, little seasoning. Put them in the oven for, at 375, 400, and just after 10 minutes, turn them and see, and then you'll have those roasted vegetables that you can have as a side for lunch or dinner in a wrap. Making vegetable stir fries. There's tons of ideas. Now that summer is coming, making vegetable kebabs. You can do whatever vegetables you like that you want to put on the grill. That's a great idea. Even getting the kids involved when you go to the grocery store, pick the colors of the rainbow of the vegetables. You can, try and make it fun. Okay. So I also wanted to talk a little bit about this. It's another way to start to get more vegetables in your diet. Like if you're interested in delving even more, getting more vegetables in, and need some ideas about how to do so, I highly recommend checking out Meatless Monday. So Meatless Monday was actually started from the Monday campaign. So there's more than just Meatless Monday. The Monday campaigns is a public health initiative that works with several different universities that advocate behavior change by dedicating every Monday to health. And one of those Mondays is Meatless Monday. You can make every Monday Meatless Monday. I say if you start doing Meatless Monday every Monday, try and work it in. It's going to encourage you to eat more vegetables and more plant-based in general. And I bet if you start each Monday with a Meatless Monday, you're going to start your week off on the right foot and continue to trying to get in more vegetables as the week goes on. Okay, so again, that website is, I believe it's meatlessmonday.com. So I would recommend checking them out if you want to figure out more ways to go meatless. They have, for Mondays, they have tons of recipes, and you can also see what their other nonprofit initiatives they have going. Okay, so for our last slide, I just want to kind of wrap things up and go over again, why is it we should eat vegetables? Because we've talked in a lot of different areas. For one thing, they're packed with vitamins and minerals right off the bat, okay? Some of which we talked earlier: potassium, vitamin C, vitamin A, folate. Another reason why we need vegetables in our lives, they're loaded with fiber, which we know helps things move along in our gut, and it's good for our heart health, possibly controlling our blood sugars better, and possibly preventing us from developing type 2 diabetes in general. Vegetables, they're also low in fat, low in calories, and have no cholesterol. They can keep us feeling fuller longer, which is great for weight management as well as weight loss. Okay. They also have those they also have those phytochemicals that we talked about, which have so many health benefits. Okay, those phytonutrients is why it's important to have a variety of vegetables in our diets, so that we make sure we're getting an abundance of them to help lower our risk of things like heart disease, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, certain types of cancer, and stroke. Okay, and believe it or not, vegetables can be easy and convenient. All right, just think about baby carrots, cherry tomatoes, celery sticks. If you just rinse them off, it's like nature's fast food. It doesn't, I think we think there has to be all this prep work in it. Sometimes, yes, like you can cut up some vegetables, have them ready to go in the fridge and readily available and easy to eat. But they don't always have to be that way. They can be, the mini carrots, celery sticks purchased pre-cut up. So it takes some of the guesswork out of it. We already talked about phytonutrients, but again, don't forget to eat the rainbow, eat the variety, because all those different colors, vegetables provide different things. I hope, and again, eating vegetables, it is great that we're eating all of our vegetables, but remember, it goes along with eating a healthy diet in general, because all the other food groups have all their benefits too, okay? The main reason, it's going to protect us against some of chronic diseases and certain types of cancers. So with that, I'm opening it up to questions. Danielle?
Awesome. Okay. So we do have quite a few questions. We will start with,
Okay.
any concern with oxalic salts from spinach or other leafy green veggies causing ill effects when you eat them?
I'm assuming that they're probably thinking kidney stones. I don't know how much spinach or leafy green vegetables you'd have to eat to develop those stones. I wouldn't say that I've ever heard of anyone I know it happens, but I've never experienced anyone who's had an issue with eating too many leafy greens and having ill effects.
Okay, gotcha. So
Sorry.
we did have, oh, that's okay. I couldn't unmute myself. Okay, so we have a couple of people that asked, is there harm in eating too many veggies?
I've never come across a study or research that has shown that eating too many vegetables are bad for you. I think when it comes to toxicity of vitamins and minerals, it's likely taking too many supplements of them. I don't think you can overdose on eating too many vegetables. Might be the vitamins or minerals that they're taking as supplements. And again, you always, like if someone is on a certain type of medication, they may be told not to eat certain vegetables. Like if you're on Coumadin, you shouldn't eat the vitamin K. There's an issue with vitamin K. So again, in general, healthy population, I don't think you can overdose on eating too many vegetables.
What is the best way to retain the nutrients when prepping your veggies?
So no matter how you cook them, um, prepping, I don't think degrades the nutrients that much. It's the cooking methods, roasting, steaming, grilling, however you want to do it. Um, no matter what way you prepare them, you're going to lose some nutrition. Um, I'm just happy if you're eating the vegetables. Okay. Some people might say, steaming them is the best way. I would say that you don't want to overcook them so that they're too mushy. You want to eat them where there's still a little bit of, crunch to them, a little bit. Too much overcooking will really reduce the nutrition. But again, as long as people are eating their vegetables, I'm happy.
Okay. What if the only way to get my family to eat veggies is to add unhealthy dressings? Is it still worth it or should I not bother?
Oh, you should still bother. um, because you can also, I don't have a recipe for it, but like unhealthy dressings, I'm assuming it's going to be like ranch dressing. There are recipes to make healthy ranch dressings by using like Greek yogurt. So maybe like instead of using Hidden Valley Ranch, you Google a recipe for healthy ranch dressing recipes because I actually was like looking at one today. I should have known or written it down because you can make it with, I want to say there's Greek yogurt and probably like seasonings. Even if you bought the Hidden Valley Ranch powdered and mixed it with Greek yogurt, that would probably even be a little bit healthier. Um, what could I say? Maybe try guacamole as a dip instead, or as a sauce. Um, I've gone to Europe and I feel like every time I eat vegetables there, it's usually in some sort of like cream sauce. And I would still say eat the vegetables with a little bit of sauce if that's the only way.
Great.
Sorry, that was really long
No,
answer.
it's good. It's good. So I am a parent of two toddlers. Me too, actually. They have no interest in eating all veggies, only carrots and broccoli. Is that enough for toddlers, or should I introduce more at their ages, which is 3 and 5?
So, I, as a mother of three, I've gone through the stages, and I was always of the mindset that you just keep introducing it. Even if they don't eat it, you put it on their plate. You just keep offering it, and maybe one day they'll, try it. Or, try it with maybe a little ranch dressing, cooked broccoli to dip it in. They might like it that way. Maybe they like it raw rather than cooked, or cooked rather than raw. Just keep trying it different ways, and hopefully, it'll sink in. And now is the time to start doing that.
Mother of a 2.5-year-old, I do exactly that. I do all different dips. I do hummus, I do ranch, I do guacamole, and she gets to dip all of her different things in it. And that seems to work. And then also, I cut them into different shapes. Like sometimes they'll be like French fry carrots or something like that, just to get a little different texture in there.
And also, not to interrupt, I know on Amazon, oh, sorry, I have a dog visiting. um, on Amazon, they have like these little, like, it's almost like cookie cutters, but you could use it for fruit and vegetables. So you can cut them into shapes. So
Yes.
that might work.
Yes. Making them fun, right?
Make it fun, make it interesting for them, give them options, again, cooked versus raw. I mean, I have friends who say, oh, my son only eats cooked peppers. And another, like, for instance, my one son loves baby carrots, but he won't eat a cooked carrot. He'll eat an entire bag of the baby carrots. So everyone's different, but just keep introducing.
Awesome. Your opinion or take on eating organic versus non-organic veggies?
Oh boy. So we're so lucky to be to even have like organic in our area and in almost every store you walk in, and that we're so lucky to have that. My personal opinion, if you can afford it, and then maybe do it, but I don't think it's necessarily the only way to go. Do I, I would say if you want to pick some that you want to buy organic, do the Dirty Dozen. Unfortunately, I don't know the exact list, but if you Google Dirty Dozen vegetables, or it's a Dirty Dozen fruits and vegetables, I can't remember if they're separate lists, then maybe pick some of those that you would buy organic. Again, we're so lucky to be this close and have so much access to organic, but if it's too expensive, eat the vegetables no matter which way they come. Even canned vegetables, if that's the way you like to eat them that way. And I should also say frozen vegetables are great. Like, especially, I buy a lot during the winter. I buy frozen vegetables because they're picked at their peak of ripeness, so they're full of nutrition.
Great. Okay, we'll do a couple more.
Okay.
Are healthy fats like avocado, nuts, and seeds needed to be included when eating veggies to aid in nutrient absorption?
Good question. There are some foods or vegetables, um, foods in general, I guess, that are better absorbed with um, other nutrients. Okay, so like, what is it? Vitamin C helps to absorb iron that comes from plants. So when you're eating broccoli or spinach that have iron in it naturally, it's better absorbed when you have vitamin C along with it, a food that has vitamin C in it. I'm not exactly sure what other nutrients are better absorbed with other nutrients. That is the one I can think of right now, vitamin C and iron. Sorry, dog. But that's what's so wonderful about our bodies and our diets. Vegetables are great, but I'm not saying that's the only thing we should be eating. That's why you know, when vegetables are included in a healthy diet, meaning we should be eating vegetables, we should be eating fruit, we should be eating whole grains, we should be eating lean proteins as part of a healthy diet to get all the nutrition out of the food. Okay, vegetables are great, but there are benefits to eating lean protein and benefits to having, certain fruits and grains. Vegetables are just part of a healthy diet. Wow, I take a long time to answer questions.
You're very thorough, Nicole. It's good. Okay, last one. So, is mushroom considered a veggie? And what are the benefits of eating them?
Oh, geez, they are a vegetable. And off the top of my head, I'm going to be stumped on my last one. I don't know all the benefits of mushrooms, but I can always get the answer and email it to you if this person would like me to.
They have lots of fiber in them.
Okay, they have lots of fiber. And we know how great fiber is, keeps us full, it makes us go, heart health, diabetes, all the good stuff.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Nicole. That was a
Thank you.
plethora of information. So well done.